Okay, friends, it's going to be an exciting week. The electoral bonds hearing is coming up in Supreme Court tomorrow, and it is going to be one of the most crucial judgments that the Supreme Court has ever delivered, I would say. Exaggeration? Maybe not. It is very important. If you're someone who doesn't know why, then this is an oversimplified video just for you. What are electoral bonds? Why do they exist? And why should you care about it at all? Why should you care about what happens to them? What is this case? What is happening? I'll tell you. Okay, first up, I'm going to use some amateur graphicals to explain what electoral bonds are. Bear with me. Music. I said oversimplified, remember? Music. So, an electoral bond is a piece of paper. You or any Indian citizen can go to the bank and buy it. Then you can give that piece of paper to a political party. That political party can go to the bank and redeem it to get donation monies directly into their bank account. Simply put, it's a special currency that only political parties can use. Now you will say, okay, but why do they exist? What is the point of them? Why is this weird roundabout way to give money to political parties? Because of something called quid pro quo. Just think about it. Why would anyone donate to a political party at all? Out of the goodness of their heart? Because they like the symbol? Because they like the leader? Yeah, I don't think so. Because fun fact, 99% of all electoral bonds ever bought were for the value of 10 lakh rupees or 1 crore rupees and above. A total of 16,000 crore rupees worth of donations have been given to 31 political parties using this instrument since it came into existence in 2018. People donate to political parties to get something in return. It's as simple as that. Maybe a contract, maybe a coal mine somewhere, or an airport, or a favorable tax cut, or for a particular thing that they trade in. Depends, stuff like that. So, in simple words, our wonderful political parties don't want you to know who is giving money to them and what they are giving the donor in return. By keeping the bank as a middleman when buying electoral bonds and redeeming those, they hide the names of their donors from you and me and all citizens who are not doing this electoral bonds nonsense. Okay, but why do you need to know who is donating money to political parties at all? I mean, it is their business, no? Yeah? No, it is also your business. A political party that is in government, that is in power, will be handling taxpayer money. Your money, my money, everybody's money. And they will be deciding where to spend it. The government will give out contracts, they'll be building roads, power plants, ports, etc. Ideally, if a government engages a private party to do all of these things, then there should be fair competition. It should be done above board. It should be fair, it should be transparent, everybody should know what is happening because that is the best way to ensure that our tax money is being spent properly. But if a political party receives donations from a private company or a person, the party is more likely to bend the rules a little bit and give them something in return. Quid pro quo, remember? Okay, so why don't these parties just give donations through check or bank transfer, huh? Why this whole piece of paper buying thing happening in the middle? Because if a company or a person gives a political party money transparently, then you and I will know. They will have to declare it to the election commission. And then we can tell whether the political party that got donations gave something in return to the donors as well. There is a transaction that will be established there. Okay, so why should you care about this whole thing is what you ask now? Simply put, because you're a citizen, I am too, and we need to know where our tax money is being spent. Where is it going? Who is it going to? What is it being spent on? We need to know. If it is being used to favor a particular a company or an individual, you need to know. And you need to ask the government about it, because that is the way we can hold them accountable. By the way, this whole thing applies to both state and central government. It's not just a BJP thing. It applies to all 31 political parties who took donations through electoral bonds. You heard that right. 31 political parties. BJP did get the major share of donations from electoral bonds, but there are 30 other parties who also got donations in this form. Electoral bonds prevents you from knowing who is donating to which party, because the chain of transaction is broken. The transaction is hidden behind a made up special currency piece of paper, the electoral bond, that only political parties can use. As a result, crony capitalism takes root, democracy dies, and you can do jack shit about it. Wonderful, isn't it? Okay, so that was an oversimplified version of what electoral bonds are. There are many other details that I can give you. Like, there are specific windows through the year when these electoral bonds can be bought and sold, why that happens. Also, some stuff about why this electoral bonds was brought in the first place, and what sort of arguments were given by our ex-finance minister, late Arun Jaitley, when they were brought in. There is also a whole story about how this bill was pushed through parliament using a finance bill, which is shady itself. This is a rabbit hole that goes very deep. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. The hearing starts tomorrow. I'm recording this on the 30th evening, and I will be constantly following it. It will probably go on for a few days, if not weeks, and I will give you regular updates about that. I will be doing regular live streams and videos to give you updates not just on the hearings, but also explain all of these little bits and pieces about electoral bonds, because it is a very long story with a lot of elements, and it affects a lot of things as well. As you know, there are 5 state elections coming up, so electoral bonds will be available for that purpose as well. So you can imagine how this hearing, either way, will have far-reaching consequences. If the Supreme Court allows electoral bonds to exist, well, that's crazy. And the second option is that they completely scrap the whole thing. Now that will be kind of crazy as well, right? So we are going to follow this story very closely now. I was there working in parliament. I remember when this came into existence back in 2017, and I have been tracking this issue ever since. So over the next few days, you will see a bunch of live streams and videos happening on this channel. So please do subscribe, and please do follow this issue, because trust me, this is very important. It is way more important than anything happening right now, according to me. Genuinely. I will see you in the next video or a live stream, wherever I see you. Subscribe, please.